The Aries man and Leo woman have a lot in common. They both have very dynamic personalities, and are very strong, gregarious, and outspoken. They both have very high energies, and this is a great way that they complement each other. Both are outspoken, so when one needs help in a certain public gathering, or needs support in a certain discussion, the other will quickly be able to take the reins and continue making the important points. In business, this could also be helpful. They can set goals well, execute masterfully, and get to their goals within reasonable time. Aries man and Leo woman in friendship. When the Aries man and Leo woman first meet, they will immediately feel the gravitational pull towards each other. They have a lot of qualities that are the same: their zest for life, their general enthusiasm towards things, and their passion. This is what will unite them and let them have a strong bond with one another. As their friendship develops, they will have a tendency to become close to one another quickly because they are able to share vulnerabilities from the beginning. They will form a bond that seems so deep, and they will feel connected to one another because of their shared interests. Even if the interests themselves are not the same, it is their energy towards these that will serve as the glue that will hold them together. In a relationship, the Aries man is very supportive of his Leo woman. The Leo woman likes to be in the spotlight a lot, and even if the Aries man may feel this sometimes, he is very generous towards giving this to her. This makes them avoid conflicts as much as possible. However, the Leo woman must also learn to give attention and affection to her Aries man in order to balance out their needs for this as well. Aries man and Leo woman in business. Within the organization, of course, there are a lot of leadership roles involved. It comprises of a lot of talking to people and managing human resources. This is where the Aries man and Leo woman combination comes most in handy. Since it is vital to keep the organization running smoothly, with the employees keeping a harmonious relationship with one another, it is equally important to keep communication lines open and smooth. As Aries man and Leo woman are both good with handling people and communicating effectively, this can be seen in the strengths of the organizations they hold. Aries man and Leo woman competitiveness. Sometimes, because they both behold the same energy, Aries man and Leo woman can tend to be very competitive with one another. They can clash as much as they complement, because one of them won't back down for the other when one feels that they are right. This can be a real challenge if you are to get into a relationship with them. But as for the competitiveness, this can really bring out the best in both parties. On the one hand, when there is a push towards excellence in whatever they are doing, both the Aries man and the Leo woman will tend to always strive to do their best in the endeavors they undertake. This is a good way to make sure that they don't waste their lives being mediocre. It is the best thing about being competitive with your partner. On the other hand, it can also be too toxic to keep seeing everything as a competition, if there is no balance struck in this kind of rivalry. It can be the healthy type, where both parties strive to bring out the best in each other through the activities that they undertake, and not really being too attached to the end results of their endeavors, but more of really just having fun while doing whatever job they are occupied with as of the moment. When the everyday toil is seen as an end in itself, this can be a very good thing. But if either or both Aries man and Leo woman see that they always have to be in achievement of something in order to find meaning in their lives, this is when things can get sour. This can take out the enjoyment from what they are doing when they are focused too much on results. This is what you should take care to balance if ever you are part of this kind of relationship. Aries man and Leo woman in a relationship. The Aries man and Leo woman in a relationship can be quite an interesting scenario. Because of their boundless energy, it is easy to keep feeling alive, to keep feeling a certain vitality in their relationship. This is one of the best things about being a part of this tandem. No day will seem boring because there is enjoyment out of every moment. However, it could also get tiring when both energies are at too much of a high. For example, it cannot be helped that disagreements could ensue between both parties. When one is enraged, it may be possible for the energy to affect the other party. Because they both have strong personalities, the Aries man and Leo woman may tire each other out in their arguments. It may be challenging, but it is not impossible. The way to weather this kind of tiresome relationship is to always be mindful of the energy that each party projects. If you are the Aries man in the relationship, and you already sense that the topic you are talking about is a particularly touchy subject to your Leo woman, you can be the bigger person and adjust. If you can be generous about the forgiveness and empathy that can be taken out of you, then just give it. In the next arguments, your Leo woman will definitely be inclined to be generous towards you as well. The tendency towards being proud of both parties could really be a hindrance to finding harmony in the midst of differences. This is important to note even before going into an Aries man and Leo woman relationship. If you are aware of this way before everything starts, you can be worried about your inclinations and be able to temper them accordingly. You should also be able to talk about this to your partner. Since you are both somehow preconditioned to having high energies, which is applicable to when you are in disagreement as well, you should take a moment to breathe and pause when things get heightened. This is to avoid any further hurt or misunderstanding to ensue between the two of you. Any relationship can be challenging for both parties. It is important to take stock of your own weaknesses, because at the end of the day, you are the only person you can control. You can only love your partner, and when you teach, it should also be in a loving way. This is the best you can do. But if the change and the desire to be better for one another is genuine in you, your partner will definitely feel it, and change will happen much sooner for the both of you. Aries man and Leo woman in marriage. The work that has to be done within a marriage has to be consistent and steadfast. For a long-term relationship to work, both parties have to be fully committed to working at it. The Aries man and Leo woman in marriage has a good thing working for them because they are both very passionate when it comes to being with each other. They really know how to express love and make their partner feel their affection. However, passion is not enough to sustain a marriage. A lot of times, their weaknesses will also show, and it will lead them to arguments and other conflicts. As stated previously, a balance has to be struck between the two parties. They have to learn when to give and when to stand up for their convictions, when to be generous and when to be more selfish in order to save their own dignities. Their passionate natures can sometimes get the best of them in these circumstances, so they both really need to learn to adjust to one another and temper themselves in the process. A great thing about an Aries man and Leo woman in marriage is that there is never a dull moment in their relationship. They will be able to keep things interesting because of their naturally vivacious natures, their passion for life and for each other. Given this, the Aries man and Leo woman can be quite compatible in marriage. They are very practical in their decisions. For example, they both know how to manage and budget their money well. They are able to put their big rocks first in any endeavor and know how to prioritize what is most important for them and their family. Conclusion. Whether in love, marriage, or friendship, the Aries man and Leo woman make a great tandem. As in any relationship, they have to learn to balance their strengths and weaknesses in order to make it work and last.